Good afternoon, everybody. This is John Polson. I'm live here today with Jacquelyn Liebler, and we are together here at Revolution Golf and Grill in Williamsburg. And in the interest of social distancing and the times that we are under, we are actually wearing our masks. So we're going to do an interview with Jacquelyn today, and so that you can hear us a little bit better. There's nobody here in the restaurant right now, so we're actually going to take our masks off. But I wanted to get a chance to talk with Jacquelyn and to introduce those of you here in the Williamsburg area and anywhere you might be to Revolution Golf and Grill. And we are actually here live, so we're recording. It is Tuesday afternoon. Today's the 26th, right? Yep. Okay. So it's just about 3:30 or so in the afternoon, and it's kind of a quiet day here, but I wanted to take a moment to share some information with the community about local business that's here in Williamsburg, and talking a little bit about things that everybody's having to change. We're all having to change what we're doing and how we're doing things, and particularly those individuals that have restaurant businesses or any kind of service business. And I'm a real estate agent, so I've had to change my business and the way we approach things, but restaurants have really had to change what they're doing in their service and how they're providing those services. So Jacquelyn, as manager of Revolution Golf and Grill, tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself and the business and your connection to the business. How did this all start?
So it's a family business. It actually started out with my father, and he had a vision of, he loves golf and he loves beer, and this kind of is what happened. So we've been open for, it'll be 3 years this June.
Wow.
So it's been quite the journey, but we've met incredible people along the way, and we have a great staff and team that a good portion of them have been through the beginning with us.
Wow, wow. So in those couple of years, you never would have expected to have to deal with the situation you're dealing with now.
Not at all.
So let's see if I'm gonna squeeze into the shot here a little bit better. So tell me a little bit about Revolution Golf and Grill, and what's your mainstay in terms of what you would normally offer on a regular part of your business. Tell me about what your business offers here to your customers.
Absolutely. So a good portion of what Revolution Golf and Grill offers is entertainment and activity with technology that is not usually you sit in front of something and you're on your handheld. It's interactive technology. So it's offering anyone the opportunity when they come to visit Williamsburg that they have something to do when the sun goes down or when it's raining, and it's keeping them active. But that's where a good portion of our sales and revenue comes from, is the interactive games of it. We do have dining too, and a bar as well, but the games are what makes us unique as opposed to other places.
Okay, so we can't quite see that from where we're sitting, because we can definitely see the bar back there. But so tell me a little bit more about the interactive part of the golf experience that you have.
Yeah, so when we originally opened up, we assumed it would be mainly based off of golf sales. So what would happen is people come in, they bring their own clubs, or they can rent some, and you could play on 32 courses from around the world. What we noticed though is a lot of people that didn't play golf, we have this interactive games where you could do tic-tac-toe, well, we don't have bowling anymore, but foot golf. You can also do darts, but it's a way to take the person who doesn't play golf and introduce them to it, and kind of revolutionizing the way you play games nowadays.
And you don't have to go find your balls, right?
You
So
don't.
when
you
lose the balls, they're
right there.
You just go pick them up, right? So and then you don't have to walk in. You can actually, so food, alcohol,
you can have food
all
and
those
drinks.
things are included in that experience, right? Okay, to make it more interesting for the customers. Now you don't do cart rentals or anything like that.
We don't. None at all. You get to walk right in, and you don't have to look for the drink cart or your balls, and you don't have to worry about if it's going to be raining. Or my big thing is when you're playing golf, someone's behind you, that pressure and stress of feeling like you have to hurry up. So you're on your own time, and we always say it's judgment free.
Yeah.
Unless you bring friends who judge you.
Right. You know, and it's been a while since I've played golf. Golf is a fun game, but it can also be a little frustrating depending on who you're playing with, particularly if they're real pressure type of
Yes.
player and that kind of thing. But so what are some of your typical customers? So the people that you feel like would be your normal customer, what do you think that normal customer looks like
I would say a
under
lot
normal
of
circumstances?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say a lot of family, where it's very family driven, because though we have a bar when you walk in, we are 11,000 square foot venue, and so in each one of the rooms are equipped with their own little TV. So we really want to make sure that families come in and feel they have something to do. We are only open till 10 on weeknights, midnight on the weekends, but we want to know when family come from out of town, they've done maybe Busch Gardens or a water park or anything, that they could still come to a place and feel that it's family driven.
Wow. So it's 3:30 in the afternoon or somewhere close to 4 or something today on Tuesday. And so the bar is still able to serve, right? So tell me a little bit about what your days look like now.
So right now it's very different, mainly because of a lot of the rules that have had to happen, which again, our big priority always is the safety of everyone, and we
Right.
follow the rules and guidelines of what is expected and needed to keep everyone safe. But what has changed a lot has been where we were driven with a lot of the population of people coming indoors to now being limited and no one's allowed to come inside unless to use the restroom. But
Okay.
everything's focused on now phase one, which is the patio, which our patio never was big with sales. So we try to recreate it.
Tell you what, can we walk over there real quick? Why don't we
Absolutely,
do that?
absolutely.
And actually we'll show what this patio looks like.
Yes. Now we are expecting a little rain, so we pulled in
Yep.
some of the things, but we extended a little bit because with some of the changes of
okay.
phase one, they have allowed where you can extend more on the patio, and
Okay.
so what we've been able to do is we always had a permit for the section. We extended a little to make sure we're within the requirements of 6 feet
right.
distancing and no more than tables larger than guests for 10 people.
Right,
And we have a count when people come in, so we can seat 60, but we have it so our 50% capacity would be 30. So
Okay.
when we have people coming in, we do that. But on fortunate days like this, we don't get as much of a turnout for the anticipated rain, and we don't have the coverage for it. So
Right. I do see a couple things that are out here that hopefully we can point out. So there's a heater over here, and
Yes.
we got gas heat over here, and then we've got a gas fire pit over here, which is really cool for ambiance.
And another one.
Oh, and another one. So we got another fire pit, fire table over there,
Yes.
and on that side, which is really kind of cool. So people can enjoy that on an evening when they come in, or when they're just looking for a place to come in and eat and grab a drink or something like that.
Yes.
So because this is not your normal part of your business,
It's
right?
not. It's not. It was in the past mainly used because it's non-smoking, of course, inside, so people would use this out here, which now we've kind of catered so it's sectioned off where the non-smoking is over on the left side, and then smoking and the non-smoking. So then people
Right.
aren't, since it's their only opportunity to sit outside, not having to feel that they are limited to where they can sit.
Okay. So with that being in mind, that's a small portion of the business. What are you able to offer now for customers when they want to come in? So you're able to do dining in here on the patio, but then you've got food takeout. Do you have
To-go.
Do you have to go? And you have a full menu? Is there a full menu available?
We have not. I think that's been the unfortunate side, is when you're limited to the amount of people being able to come in or at
Right,
all,
right,
you
right.
then have to change your menu to determine what's going to be food that's no longer going to be wasted.
Oh, yeah.
Because that becomes a big change where you're no longer wanting to have to worry about food going bad and throwing it out, because the margin's so small with the amount of waste that you want to deal with. So one of the big things that we ended up coming up with was, instead of having a normal profit margin, which a lot of restaurants will have anywhere from food costs being 25 to 30%, where their profit would be 70, 75%, we kind of flipped it. And because what our goal was is to make food affordable for people, because during this time we really don't know what's going to happen cost-wise for everyone. And everyone could
Yep.
eat in every single night. They don't have to eat out. So we feel it's an honor if someone takes the chance to support a local business and give them the opportunity to feed them for that night. So that was something we just realized through all this, just being transparent, like through all of it, because to-go's new for, I want to say 80% of the restaurants here.
Yeah.
So to go from dining in to something completely new, you have all these little errors that you're getting accustomed to. You know, you have to come up with a system, and then you have to make sure that you're abiding by the safety, the security of everyone's health. So that was something that I think I'm watching a lot of restaurants, one challenge be. But like I said, I think the city of Williamsburg and James City County has been very supportive with being forgivable. Like they've been understanding, because it's easy to right away be frustrated because this is a stressful time.
Right. So that's enabling you, and I think we talked about this a little bit ago when we were just talking, that you're kind of able to keep afloat, and you're keeping your employees active and staying, and things like that. So has the government been, so has the government been helpful with programs that have helped you keep everyone together and keeping everything going?
I think it's been difficult, and it's hard to say, because I know this is new for everyone, and I think the same thing with the government. I think it's trying to come up with a quick way to make sure that everyone's safe and that businesses are able to still get through this. But I think at the same sense, since this is new, there's been a lot of programs that have been developed that really haven't been able to help the local businesses, like the PPP. I think the hopes for that was that just get everyone off unemployment, put them on payroll, get them back to work, and which has been great. When we first found out this happened, I think our biggest fear was, oh my goodness, unemployment. Everyone's going to be going on it. They're not going to make a lot of money. And that ended up happening at first, but then they ended up getting an additional amount. So a lot of them were taken care of. Okay. So then we got the PPP, and without being open, you had, 8 weeks to bring everyone back. Yeah. And as you bring them back, we're not fully operational. And then the sales are based off of last year, or I'm sorry, the way that they created the PPP is based off of your labor costs from last year. So if you don't have the same sales, you're not going to need the same amount of labor. So you have 8 weeks to bring everyone on. And then if we're not fully operational, which we only have about 3 weeks left, then you end up having to most likely put them back on unemployment because we can't afford to be able to keep them. Right. So you're going through that stress of making sure everyone's okay.
So for other business owners out there, that's a relevant question too. How long then do you have before you have to really reassess? You mentioned an 8-week timeline, and so now you're coming up on the end of that timeline at this point. So is there another opportunity for another 8 weeks, or so that adjustment is going to have to be made?
That hasn't been
soon?
Released yet. I know, and I think the like I said, I think it's hard to put blame. I always not believe putting blame on things, because this is new, so everyone's trying to figure it out. But I think now the government, they're trying to figure out that it could be for 12 weeks. But for a lot of us, we had to take those 8 weeks and bring people back and make sure they're 40 hours. So extending it's kind of difficult, because now their paychecks will be affected if that were to happen. So you kind of set aside those 8 weeks, because it's only forgiven if you go by the guidelines of 75% on payroll, 25% on non-operational cost, only on rent and utility, which if it was operational cost, you could do food, you could do a lot of other things, which a lot of the restaurants would need. For those that are not open and to open back up, that's going to be the obstacle to be able to find the funds to be able to do that.
Okay. All right. So at least it's good to know. I imagine that's probably some bit of comfort for yourself to know that there's a program that was put into place.
Yes.
But now you've made some adjustments. So what does the day look like today? So now you got the outdoor dining, but you're also doing takeout, and there's another big part of the business that's a little different.
Well, now that they're offering drinks to go, with liquor to go, which I think was great. I love that. Like I said, ABC, like the city of Williamsburg, the state of Virginia, everyone's gone out of their way to see that we have these obstacles, or what are some ways to increase the revenue, because liquor has a bigger profit margin that you can be able to account for. So they've been great about allowing us to do that. So we have a team that comes up with creative drinks, and
I saw some on
comes
your
up with
Facebook
stuff.
page
Yes,
the other day. I
so-
see some of your posts
Yes.
on there, so that's really cool.
So
Drinks,
they're-
okay.
Yeah, so they try to come up with different things to then make an incentive so people will want to be able to come. And again, people have been great and supportive, and we really lean on other restaurants. I think that's the beauty of a lot of this, is we've teamed up with a lot of them, because you can't get through this alone. And I think what's important is, like, if we're ever out of chicken, like Michelle Sealing, who owns Houndstown Aromas, like, she'll sell me at cost the chicken. And if I'm out of like Plaza Fernando, if I'm out of bags, or if I'm out of to-go boxes, he's the first to be like, we got some. So it's a different sense of your new norm, but it's really brought us together to realize we're in it together. We're not alone.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's amazing to hear. That's really cool to hear that you
We're all
got,
working
because you're
together.
working together with, you know, they're in your community.
Yes.
And they're not just competition, but
No,
they're
we're all-
actually, you're in a family type of situation.
is.
We're all in this together to
We
help
are
each other
all-
out. That is amazing.
We
That
are.
is really encouraging to hear that.
Because we even said, even if one restaurant doesn't return, it affects all of us, because it's just,
Absolutely
you know,
right. Oh my gosh.
you can't imagine hearing about
sorry.
that. So I think
Well-
that's how we all look at it, is no one's going to be super successful through all this, because it's just extremely challenging and something we've never dealt with. So we might as well be in it together and work together and lean on each other through it.
Wow. Well, that's you got some amazing insight and information
Thank you.
that you've been able to share. I have more questions. I'm sure I would imagine our visitors have more questions too. So those of you that are still watching, thank you for joining. We're going to share this, so it'll be actually available through Facebook, through the feeds. You'll see it on the Revolution Golf and Grill website. You'll see it on my website. I'll share it, and hopefully we'll get more information out there about what's going on in the community and Revolution Golf and Grill. So thank you very much for Jacquelyn,
Thank you.
for taking a few
Thank
minutes
you.
to chat with us. Is there anything else that you want to show us, or anything else you can show us at the moment that's going on inside or anything?
Not at all. Just truly appreciative of Williamsburg and the city of Williamsburg, James City County, for being so supportive. Because I told him you could easily eat every single night at home, but you take the chance on us and other restaurants. So thank you for the support.
Wow. That says a lot. So thank you guys for watching and taking the time. Jacquelyn, thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
the opportunity this afternoon. And we'll come back in a couple weeks, and we'll do a revisit kind of on what's going on, and have some more information, and maybe things will change. We know that this is not going to go away right away, so everybody's got to make adjustments, and as we make those adjustments, we'll see more things that'll change over the next few weeks. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks a lot, and we will see you all again soon, I hope.